You're interested in deploying a municipal wireless network and have been concerned about the recent news in relation to all of the failures. My name is Daoud Khan, consultant with Kazam Technologies. I have with me here Phil Parisi, also a consultant with Kazam. And today we'll be discussing the failures of late in relation to municipal wireless, as well as some of the successes, and sharing with you ways in which you can separate the hype from reality and focus on a successful municipal wireless deployment. So Phil, we've heard a lot about the interest in cities wanting to deploy a municipal wireless network. What drives them to this?
Well, some of the main reasons cities are interested in a municipal wireless network range from, providing a means to improve the efficiency of the city services. Allowing the cities and their agencies to do a lot more with the same budget. Another reason could be economic development. How do they attract the local businesses and provide them with a tool to enhance their business? They also look at providing internet access to citizens in parts of the city that are currently underserved. Muni wireless networks can also help to reduce some of the city's communication costs, cell phone charges, lease lines, and finally, a Muni wireless network can attract visitors as it allows them to stay connected either at work or at home.
So Phil, that sounds like all of the right reasons to deploy a wireless network. However, there have been so many failures. Why do you think there have been so many failures in the space?
Well, when implementing a municipal wireless network, you need clear and attainable goals, and they need to be understood and determined up front. Failures in the past have been a result of impractical goals, such as having advertising on web pages, pay for the network, or expectations that the network will attract a large percentage of the population. Also assumptions of what city applications can be used on a wireless network based on the hype of what these networks promise and deliver can create problems. As an example, if police require to access the records wirelessly and it takes them 10 minutes to download, it is very unlikely that they will be able to use this network in the future. This all leads to basing a business model on assumptions that are non-proven and as a result are very likely to fail. A structured approach that leverages lessons from past failures and successes is essential in implementing a successful business model and a Muni wireless network.
So Phil, given all of the factors that have contributed to past experiences where municipalities have failed in their municipal wireless venture, what do you think is needed to ensure success?
Well, you have to start off on the right foot. You have to have a very clear understanding of what your business drivers are. Who will be the primary users of the network, for instance? Will it be public safety, city workers, businesses, or the citizens? And what problems are you trying to solve with this network? Are you trying to improve the efficiencies, enhance safety to the citizens, economic development, etc.? All these need to be considered.
And these are some of the most important things that have resulted in a lot of issues for municipalities in the past, haven't they?
Correct. It is also very important to note what applications you want to put on these type of networks. Applications will drive what kind of network is required. Clear understanding of the application needs and their bandwidth requirements needs to be determined up front. For instance, if you're looking to have wireless video sent back to a command center, a lot of that is required by the uplink speeds of the network. That needs to be considered.
Right, so before you delve into the technology, the first thing you do is understand the business drivers and the needs of the applications and its usage, and then you come up with, I guess, the next thing, which is determining the right technology, the network, and the devices associated with it.
Correct. Once you have the application understanding and the capacity that's required, you can then select from a network or a group of networks that will allow you to put those applications onto the network.
Once this has been done, what is the next step?
Well, the next step is, where do you want this network to cover? What are the service level agreements? Is it a mission critical type of network that you require that needs to be up 24/7, or is it basically to do things like meter reading and bursty data?
So based on that, you would determine the type of network, the capacity needs, the speeds, whether it's mobility or fixed, etc., etc. And that, I guess, leads us to the very next stage, which is probably the most important of all of these things. At the end of the day, you need to determine what approach you're going to use to deploy this network, whether you're going to own it or you're going to partner with someone. So what are some of the options available, and what are some of the pros and cons that you've seen?
This leads to, as you say, the business model step. So you're looking at things like, now that you have the pricing, you understand what you need to cover, you can then determine if the city has the budget to own this network. And even if they do have the budget to own the network, is the city set up to maintain the network on their own? Other considerations are things like, is the city willing to own and operate their own network? Who is going to pay for this network? Will the city be willing to provide access to their assets and rights-of-way, such as building rooftops and their lamp posts, to a private service provider in return for a reduced rate for their data services? There can also be a combination of the city owning the network but having a private service provider maintain the network for them.
So definitely a lot of options available to the city, and I guess depending on their business drivers and their needs, you come up with the best fit solution. And I guess that is the next thing, right? That's whether you go forward with a network or not, and if so, what is the approach to take?
Correct. So what you need to do is, once you have a direction for the business model you're looking at, you want to understand the risks associated with that business model. So a thorough SWOT analysis of that business model needs to take place with the city and all the stakeholders.
So Phil, how do you know that you've arrived at a successful business model to proceed with a municipal wireless network?
Well, you will know that the municipal wireless network is a success when all of the stakeholders have their expectations all aligned. And it's all aligned not based on hype, but based on reality. They will know what applications will be able to go on this network. They'll have a very good understanding of the coverage, where this network will be able to cover the city. The technology will be able to support these applications, and the service provider can make some money in providing this service to the city. It is very, very important to have an experienced team coupled with this process we just talked about to ensure that these expectations are all aligned and that this Muni Wireless network that you are planning will become a success.
So how can Kazam help you? Kazam Technologies provides wireless and broadband consulting services to carriers from North America to Asia Pacific, as well as to municipalities and government bodies. Kazam's suite of professional services tailored to the municipal wireless deployment starts with a feasibility, which has been the focus of our discussion today, the 5-step process to ensure success. Beyond that, we will work with you to determine the business technology requirements that need to be met through the RFP process and help you select the right vendor and negotiate the right terms. We will work to ensure that you have access to, either directly or indirectly through a partner, licensed spectrum should you need it, and understand the issues with the use of unlicensed spectrum for your deployment and its impact on the applications that and the users that are going to be using it. Lastly, we will work with you once you've made a decision to deploy your network to do audits to make sure that the applications are ready for wireless, the SLAs are in place, you have security requirements that are going to be met when you port your applications to wireless, as well as work with you to deploy the network and manage the ongoing operations. We'd like to welcome you to visit us at kazamtech.com and to also send us an email at info@kazamtech.com or to call us at 905-479-0080, extension 112, to discuss your objectives, your city's objectives in deploying a wireless network, and for us to be able to share some of our insights with you and to help you in your process of establishing municipal wireless network. Thank you.